Hello, my art-loving friends. In last week's video, we opened over 39 art subscription boxes. And in this week's video, I am going to show you out of those 39 art subscription boxes, which pieces that I'm going to keep around for a while to show on the channel. And there's a dog trying to get in my art room door. Anyway, let me flip you around and show you that. Alright, so please excuse my art room right now. It is an ever-loving mess, plus I have my grandma's kitties kind of acclimating to my house here in the studio. So their food, their water, their cat tree. That's not one of them, that's one of mine, but still. Another video in progress. Really fun over there. But back to this stuff. This is everything we opened. I did send a few things home with my daughter-in-law because she was actually up here and it was a good time to do that, and I knew it was stuff that the other girls already had, mostly. And now I'll show you what I'm going to keep around to show you guys on the channel. So the first thing is this crystal watercolor. So this is very similar to Brusho. I kind of mentioned that when I did the video. And these two are the same thing. Kind of like crystal watercolor, Brusho kind of thing. Super fun. The stuff in this is also not just regular watercolor. It is, can't remember, but I did tell you in the other video, something that I haven't really used before. So we are going to play with that first. Over there is my grandma's kitty. One of the two. Just ignore the mess. My life has been crazy. I'm only home like 2.5 days a week and spending the rest of the time dealing with my grandma's estate, so it's kind of busy. These awesome Kuretake Gansai Tambi, these are the graphite colors, so we're going to keep those around to play with. It doesn't mean that I'm keeping them forever or that the other girls can't use them, but I do want to play with them on the channel with you guys before I pass them along. Liquid watercolor, Ultramarine Finest, keeping that around. Definitely want to try these golden acrylic paints. I think they'll be very fun. These are the golden fluid acrylics. So I have those in another video that I was in progress with. So these can stay on the table because I will be playing with my own version of them that I received. I do want to play with the Amsterdam acrylics just to see what they're like before I pass them along. I don't plan on keeping them necessarily, unless no one else wants them. I already have those. The Ecoline brush pens are kind of intriguing. Maybe I'll play with them once and pass them along, but I'm not sure that I need to keep them. I gave the rest of the ones that I had to my daughter-in-law already many months ago, probably maybe even a year ago, I'm not sure. But I did receive a few unique colors in a subscription box that I showed you guys on this channel, and it was while I was traveling, so they might be fun to add to that and at least do a piece or two with that. I think that could be okay. Definitely wanting to play with this handmade watercolor. So pretty. Yep, it's that shiny. And then I have never played with Finetech watercolors, so this is going to be in the lineup for playing with for sure. I have Peerless, that can stay. I am intrigued by the liquid charcoal, so that's going to stay for a while, and this fluid graphite. So we will at least play with those before letting them go. And then of course, these are a watercolor stick, watercolor, and a white watercolor. So I may just pull out a half pan of this to keep for myself and see if the other kiddos want it. Same thing with this, I can just cut off a chunk that would fit in a half pan. And I don't know if any of them would be interested in white, but I actually use quite a bit of white when I paint, ironically, so maybe I'll keep that, but it's a big enough tube we can spread it around in half pans or full pans. Definitely going to keep the gouache. Sorry girls, you're out of luck. But these are beautiful colors that I cannot wait to try. I probably have all of these oil colors, I just don't have the M. Graham brand, and no one else paints with oils in the family, at least not yet. So I'll ask them about that, but I wouldn't mind keeping the M. Graham paints just because I don't have any. But we'll see, no big deal either way. I already have all of those alcohol inks, so we don't need to play with that, but I do want to play with these calligraphy inks over here and then this red ink. So between all of these I would have the primary colors, blue, yellow, red, and then that one I think was a copper. Yep, copper. And then these two inks just came in a recent box, so they might be fun, I don't know, do like an ink piece with. And then I do love fountain pens, but I don't have like a need for it. So I don't know, maybe I'll try it just to see what it feels like, but I don't really feel like I need to keep it necessarily. I do want to try some sheets of that paper. That is that sand grain paper. It just seemed really fascinating. And then maybe we can just kind of split up some of these pads among us. This is all non-watercolor paper here. I think it would be fun to try some of it, but we'll see. And out of the watercolor paper, I do have some of this already. We'll just go through it. Again, they're just pads mostly. I think they're pads. Maybe some are blocks. I know that's a block, but some are just pads. So we could probably just split the pads up among the four of us and I'll get to try some. I'm really curious to try this little round watercolor pad. I think that's kind of a block too. It is glued except for that area you can see right there. And then anything that is Strathmore paper, I'm not really interested in keeping. I do not enjoy Strathmore paper, so that can definitely move along, or I could use it for inks or gouache because it's fine for those kind of things. These are the Derwent Chroma Flow pencils. I want to try those. I used to fancy myself a pencil artist, but quickly found that I need paint, not pencils. So I'm interested in trying these. Not sure I'm interested in keeping them, but we are going to try them and then pass them along. This set, watercolor graphite, that I definitely want to try. Not sure I'll keep it again, but we'll try it on the channel, see what we think, and go from there. Next up would be this tinted charcoal paint pan set. Definitely want to try that and see what I think of it. This has moody colors, which suits my daughter-in-law really well. She likes those beautiful deep colors, and so maybe after I try that she would like that, or maybe one of the other girls, but it will be really fun to see if we can make a fun little painting out of this first. The Neocolor 2s I would definitely keep, but I do have my own set, this exact same set, and I was going to keep it regardless for spares, but it will probably be a long time before I can even go through the ones I have, and they do sell them open stock, I believe. So I can get a color if I run out. So maybe if one of the girls wants this to try, I would strongly encourage them because it's one of my most favorite mediums in this kind of medium, this crayon water melting kind of medium to do. That didn't really make sense, but you know what I mean. And then I am dying to try this Sennelier ink brush. Sennelier, however you would like to say that. And then this white fine pen, that just seems kind of intriguing. I want to see how that works. Also, pencils that are so thick like this is a 0.9, can be kind of fun to sketch with. I don't necessarily need it. I do have other thick pencils, but it could be intriguing, so maybe we'll try sketching with it and see what happens. All right, let me bring you back a bit. There's my dog chewing on a bone. Anyway, that's all stuff I need to get through with you guys on the channel too, so there's lots of things that we can play with here. Regardless, lots of stuff left, and just because I am keeping this for the moment does not mean keeping it forever, but this is all stuff that we'll be playing with here on the channel. Very excited about that. You can see my gouache palette there. I did open that up on my Patreon channel. It had mold in it, and that was a live feed if you want to go check out my Patreon. Also on my Patreon, I showed a huge hoarded stash of art supplies. You thought this was a lot of art supplies? Well, you should go watch that video over on my Patreon account. Another project in progress that will be coming up on the channel soon. Lots of things going on here and lots of fun things to try. So we've got to start checking some things off my to try and my to-do list because this is just stacking up. But it's kind of fun to know that I always have a really fun art supply to go play with. Even though my regular watercolors are also really fun, I am looking forward to eventually getting back to my regular watercolors at some point. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I will see you next time. Bye for now.
That can last for weeks. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Having a blast. This is my son's girlfriend's dog.
I have not needed a
There's
refill
my
yet.
puppy. Hi little sweetheart. Hi Duffy.
We have this creamer. It's perfectly
Jack.
wonderful. And we also have this creamer.
Sweeties. Hi sweeties.